Okay, welcome to our Zoom call, week 2 for the September Health Game. And yay, this is fun. Nice to have everybody here. It is September the 16th, 2015. And we have got a cool group on, so away we go. Anybody have anything they want to say right off the bat, or shall I come up with a subject for us?
Go for it.
All right, I'll give you a subject. Actually, something that Tammy and I were talking about, and she called in, but we were talking about before you guys came on, and it was the mental struggle that we have. Like, Tammy, tell them what you were craving today.
Oh, it's like something that you would never think you would crave, but when you see someone eating something as simple as PB and J and chips, it's like all of a sudden that just becomes like the one thing you would sell your right arm for. Yeah, it really smelled and looked so good, but I think some days are, I don't know why, some days everything just is harder. And other days it's a cinch. I can't figure out why that is.
Yeah, and the thing about her peanut butter and jam sandwich was she was not hungry.
No.
She was not hungry, so it was not coming from the body, it was coming from the head.
It was through the nose, I think.
Smelling it. Yeah, it's true, I think that these changes that we make come on gradually. Can everybody, so you guys have been on the program or a program for quite a while, or long enough to know that you know there's sometimes you just have those bad days. Does anybody want to just share maybe changes that you see in yourself now that you do things differently now because you've been kind of educated and you know something? That's what I call it, educated. I didn't even hardly know what a carbohydrate was. I knew it was bread and I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was vegetables. So anyway, yeah, anybody, Amber, can you think of something that you do now that you didn't used to do because you have learned some stuff?
For me, I always have, like, in my head, if I ever have a carbohydrate, I always think I need a protein with it.
Yeah.
I never thought before, but I mean that's a constant now.
That's great. That's awesome. How about you, Larry? Do you have some change that you've had that you've noticed?
Well, I always think about what I'm eating or what I'm wanting to eat now, and I used to just eat. I notice the cravings now, and and I feel guilty about the cravings, and I didn't used to. So I guess that's a change. Is the awareness. I think the mindfulness has been the biggest and most beneficial change for me, anyway.
Yeah, that's great. You think about what you're going to eat. That's awesome.
I don't always make the right choice, but I know I'm making the wrong choice when I do.
Well, and you feel a little guilt, so you know what the right thing is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that, the mindfulness. Sheila, we're just talking about maybe something that we do differently than we did before we learned these habits of health. And you can be thinking, Tammy, how about you? What would you say that is different for you?
Gosh, everything really.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't think of something that's specifically different. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you are just kind of getting started, and so it is, your whole mind is filled with it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's just such a different way of living for me to have things planned that I'm going to eat, and I was just flying by the seat of my pants, and now it's actually I'm eating, according to my plans. So I have my meals planned out, and I have the times planned out, and I feel amazing. And my skin, that is the crazy thing. I was looking at my skin this morning, and it's like, this must be healthy for me because my skin is glowing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a really fun side benefit that I never thought of.
That's awesome. Okay, and you know what? That can be one of the things we share as a non-scale victory that you're feeling. But so, Denise, we're just sharing something that we've learned through the habits of health that we do differently now, or a non-scale victory. Anyway, you can be thinking. And Sheila, you want to go?
I do.
Good.
Before I started, I would drink Diet Coke nonstop through the day. Now I'm drinking my 100 ounces of water, and I'm not limiting my Diet Coke, but it's like my water's taken over from my Diet Coke. I still drink a Diet Coke, but I get my 100 ounces of water in before I drink my Diet Coke.
Ah, I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That is very, very good. So who just came on? Who is 7189?
That is Peggy. For some reason, I can't get in via the app.
Oh,
So,
hey, that's fine. I'm glad you're on, Peggy, because I knew you were trying to work on that. So anyway, glad to have you down there in Arizona. I mean, in New Mexico. Are you in New Mexico or no, Tucson? She's in Tucson.
I'm in Tucson.
Yeah. Okay, so every time somebody comes on, I'll explain it again. But we're just sharing something that we've learned from the habits of health, maybe that we are practicing that we weren't before, and just kind of sharing what's different. And Sheila just shared about Diet Coke. Tammy's got skin that glows like crazy. Larry feels guilty. No, he's more mindful and thinks about what he's going to eat. And Amber has automatic, when she eats a carb, she automatically thinks, let's match it with a protein. Cool. So anyway, we'll have Denise go first, and then Peggy, maybe you can think of something.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess the main thing for me is that when they originally on the first challenge, they started talking about stop challenge shoes. And so I'm more mindful than before about what I put in my mouth to actually stop and make a decision, spend time before making that decision. So I guess that's my biggest thing is the stop challenge shoes. I really like that.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Peggy, did you think of yours yet?
Excuse me. I think I just like these. I'm just more mindful. I'm more mindful of what when I go to the grocery store, what I put into my cart, so that things I shouldn't have don't even come in the house.
Ooh, smart.
Yeah, it's very easy when you're only shopping for one.
Yeah. No, that is great. I love that.
Yeah, I know I have weaknesses. There are certain things, and so I try not to even bring them in the house.
That's great. So healthier choices. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was reading on here. I thought it was really fun. Jessica Barham, she wrote, I was in the conference room at work helping a coworker and consultant, and my coworker was eating Skittles by 9 a.m., Oreos by 10, and already finished a gigantic big gulp by 10:30. I love candy. Believe me, I do, but the thought of that much sugar that early made me kind of sick. Glad to say I didn't touch the Skittles or the Oreos. Anyway, I just love that so much because I thought, man, there is a change, and I hope she recognizes that because that is significant. When you see it in other people and you don't, you used to be that way maybe. So Gladys, welcome to the party. Are you there, girl? Maybe her sound hasn't come through. So tonight, we were thinking it would be fun to talk. I'm sorry David's not here. He had scouts. They changed it to Wednesday nights. But anyway, the thing that we want to talk about tonight is mindfulness and being aware of your change, of the food you're going to eat and how you can, pay attention to it, how you can curb yourself from, craving even a peanut butter sandwich or something, and how you can distract yourself, or whatever, because it's not your body. Your body doesn't need it. You're fine. You don't need food, that kind of food. But, because you've already eaten or whatever. But what can we do to thwart the crazy days when all you want to do is just eat? And there's no real reason for it except the head. Anybody have some ideas you want to share? Welcome, Barbara.
Hi.
Glad to have you, girl.
Thank you.
So yeah, so we're just talking about how to stay with our plan, whatever it is. How do you stay strong, and how do you, a lot of times if people go on the Take Shape for Life plan, when they first go on it, it is really, really simple, and your weight just drops off and you're just doing great. But when you start cheating just a little bit, your mental, it's very, very hard to get back on plan. So, and I think that works too with just healthy eating. As long as you're doing fine, you can stay doing it. But the minute you start to open that little gate that says, only one, just this once, oh, I'll be better tomorrow. I was better today than yesterday. Anyway, whenever you open the gate, it's like the floodwaters are looking for the path of least resistance, and they come in and tear you up. So, okay, so share your tips. What would you do? What do you do, I should say? This is real life. This is what we're talking about every day. So, anybody want to share?
I will.
Thanks, Amber.
Today was actually very much one of those days. And usually, if I can identify the trigger, then that helps a lot. Today, there didn't seem to be any reason behind the trigger. It was behind the craving. And so it took everything I could, muster. I decided I needed to keep busy, needed to get out of the house, and make it as difficult for myself to get anything that I wanted as possible.
So did you leave the house?
I did.
Good.
And I went and got my flu shot.
That's torture.
But hey, buddy, I got with the trigger, and it was almost like the craving was taking over and giving me a mental, having a hard time even remembering my goals. But one thing that really helped is starting over is not fun. And for me, I'm one of those people that if I slip a little bit, then I jump off a cliff, basically.
Yeah.
And I've learned that in the past couple months. And so if I really want it to work and I want it to get easier, then I have to stick with it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. It made me think of a quote that I heard this weekend, and it was just, obstacles are what we see when we take our eyes off the goals. Okay, so you have your goal, and when you see an obstacle, maybe it's emotional upset, maybe, I don't know what it is, maybe it's just a food craving. But if you get distracted and start concentrating on that, then you lose sight of your goal, and it's harder to keep going. So great. Okay, anybody else? Who's up for sharing? Tricks of the trade. Gladys, are you on here? Maybe you can just hear. Maybe you can't talk because we can't hear you. I see she's on, but I can't hear her. Anybody else want to share? Larry, come on. What's your best method to thwart the enemy?
No, I don't have a lot to contribute because I usually lose the battle. I haven't got any good tips. I have to, even when I resolve to not do something, I end up falling prey to some of those cravings anyway, so
You're
I'm not,
honest. You're way
I'm not the
honest.
consultant on this one.
All right, then you get to take notes on this call. Anybody else have some helps? Barbara, take it away, girl.
You buy a pair of jeans that are tight.
Oh.
Then you make sure you wear them. And then that puts it, you don't want to wear elastic pants. You don't want to wear sweatpants. You want to wear jeans that are tight. And that thwarts any desire to want to eat anything bad.
Wow, that's awesome. Denise, how about you? What's your?
I agree with that. I've done that many times. Is I'll refuse to wear my bigger shorts or bigger jeans because I want to make myself uncomfortable so that I'll be remembering all day long to not eat anything. But I guess one of my big things that I do, and I've shared this once before, is that the hard time for me is nighttime, like here about 8:30 to bedtime, 9 o'clock till bedtime, and I'll want to go graze, in the kitchen. But what I'll do is after my last snack, I'll go brush my teeth right away, and then I won't want to eat anything. That's my big trick, because that's the time that I really want to go in there and grab something to eat.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. Sheila, you have anything for us?
I'm like Larry. I'm here to learn as much as I can.
That's honest.
Learn some tricks.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. How about you, Tammy? Tell us something you do. Or
I liked Denise's little tip in the chat when she said that she had brought her own 100-calorie popcorn to the activity that was going to have all that food. I thought that was a brilliant idea. And I think distraction works really well if you keep busy. My house has never been this clean. And also removing yourself, like my daughter, when she was eating her sandwich and she was waiting for me to make my salad, and we were going to eat together, and I said, you go ahead and go eat that and I'll catch you later, because I don't know, the salad just did not look as good as what she had, but it was actually okay. It was fine as long as she wasn't standing next to me.
that's awesome, even to recognize that it's better for me to not be right there. That's good.
Yeah, I'll miss out on her company for once. That's all right.
That's right. Peggy, how about you? What are your words of wisdom?
I don't know that I have any words of wisdom. But there are a couple of things I do.
Yeah.
I keep, when I really just can't control it, like working or cleaning or whatever, I always have celery sticks and stuff like that prepared in my fridge. Or sometimes I'll use just one or two Tic Tacs, and sucking on those seem to, take the edge off of the, whatever urge that is, whatever urge is making me want to eat.
Yeah.
So, and they're not very, what is it, I forget how many calories in a couple of Tic Tacs, but if they're the really strong ones, then they curb that urge for me.
Yep, that sounds good. There's sugar-free gum too, and I think even sugar-free Werther's and a few things you can use.
Yeah.
You don't want to use too much. Oh, there's an advertisement. Go for it, Barb.
Eclipse.
Eclipse.
I buy a lot of Eclipse gum.
Yeah.
Or different flavored gums. A lot of the Trident flavored gums, the strawberry, the double flavored gums, and I don't chew it very long, and I spit it out.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm not a gum person. I've never liked gum, but there is one thing that I do when it's those days. Some days you can eat exactly the same food as other days, and you're just all day long, I want to have something to eat. I want to have something to eat. I want to have something to eat. When I don't understand why. You have exactly the same food and it's different. But when I have one of those days where I'm just out of control all day wanting to eat something, I drink a hot drink. It's those little tins. they're called General Food International coffees, but it's decaffeinated and it's sugar-free, and the serving, I put less than what it says to put. It's only like 20 calories or something like that. And so I'll drink one of those hot drinks, and every single time it'll stop my craving for wanting to eat something.
That's great. In fact, something, another hot drink you could have would be like bouillon. If you want to have bouillon, because it would, fill you and you think you had something.
Yeah. The thing about these is, like, I don't like tea. I don't like, I never drink coffee. I never drink tea, but it's got that little bit of sweetness in it. And so it curbs that sweet, that, thinking you need something sweet.
Good. Thank you for the suggestion. Gladys, are you there, girl? Not hearing her. That's okay. She's here in spirit. So I'll just tell you something that's kind of interesting that happened for me about 3 weeks ago. I was talking with one of my friends. I can't remember if we talked about this last time, Larry, or not, but one of my friends who, she is a coach like I am, and she had put on a lot of weight. She'd regained some weight. And so I've watched her over the years. And the last time I saw her, she was pencil thin. And I'm like, what the heck did you do? Anyway, she told me some things, and I thought I would share it with you because it really has had an impact on me. The first thing she said, and she just is very open about her relationship with God. And she said, I've been battling this for so long. And she says, I've been praying to God. And she says, and I just got this feeling that I needed to treat it like my husband treated his alcoholism. So he was an alcoholic, and he had to just give up the alcohol totally. If he had even a drop, he was off. He was just totally off. And it's the same principle as a drug addict. They cannot have drugs, not even the tiniest amount. And so she chose to think of her plan, whether it's the Take Shape for Life or whether it is a plan that you have devised, and you know exactly what you can have on your plan. And she said, I just started to look at my plan, because I have to have food. You don't have to have alcohol and you don't have to have drugs, but I have to have food. But if I have parameters that I have set, she said, I asked God if he would just help me stay, and she calls it sober, because she felt that she was actually a foodaholic or addicted to food. And she said, I know that if I take one bite that is off of the program, whatever program you have, that it would make her backslide, just like the alcohol would her husband. Anyway, and it was really an interesting thing, because she said, each day, the answer is yes or no. Yes, I was sober, or no, I am not. And there was no qualifications like, well, gosh, I did better today than yesterday. Oh, it's our 13th anniversary. Gee whiz, No, she just took it exactly at face value. And so she calls it her days of sobriety. And she, actually was doing the Take Shape for Life program, but you can do it with just whatever program you're doing, but just know your parameters exactly. But so she went into the fat burn after 4 days, and then she found herself at 20 days and then 40 days. And anyway, I think she's at 195 days now. And I don't know how much weight she's lost at this point, but when I talked to her, she was down 45 pounds. But more than the pounds, it was the feeling inside of her that she had decided what to do. And she felt so comfortable, and she gives credit to God. She absolutely does. She said, I could never do it without him. Anyway, so I started thinking about this a lot. And I don't relate to the sobriety, alcoholism stuff, but there's something that is, shall I just bare my soul to you guys? But it is being honest and true to myself. That really resonated with me. The idea of if I set a goal, am I going to be true to what I said I would do? And so I really thought about it. I thought about it for a few days. I wrote about it. I just thought, okay, I don't want to do this, because if I do it, I'm putting myself on the line, you know. It's really awful to slime on yourself if you make that kind of commitment. I mean, I've been doing it for a lot of years, and so I know very well how to not be true to myself. Anyway, so I just started thinking about it, and I thought, I want to do this. And so on August 28th, I just thought, this is what I'm going to do. Here's my program. Here are the parameters. I am not going to take one step out. And then I tell people like you guys so that you can hold me accountable. And today is day 20 and 100%. I mean, it's weird. There was this change that came over me that in 6 years of having lost weight, being a coach, I haven't felt this kind of power since the first time I did the program. So anyway, kind of an interesting thing. It's really, really personal. And yeah, man, I'm using God. There's no question about it. He's my friend and we talk all the time. But it's very, it's made a huge difference. And with my mind, you know, that's where the difference lies. And so I don't know, you know, you'll have to think and see what it is that lights you up if you're at that point, because you have to be ready to do something like that. And you have to be kind of, I mean, it's scary. It's scary to face yourself like that and say, okay, here I go. And what if they ask what day I'm on? Somebody you've told, and you have to go, oh, well, I'm back to day one. No, it's you feel very powerful and you only become stronger. So anyway, that's that. I wanted to just share that. So dang, Amber, you've got a cute baby. So anybody want to share anything else? I mean, you know, anybody have any questions from the games or thoughts that you want to share? Okay, I want to hear it from somebody. Anyway.
I'm just thinking about how I so identify with what you just said about the because I think of it like that all the time about the whole alcoholic addicted thing. Because
you guys keep talking. Denise, be in charge. I got to answer the door.
But that is so much the way that I am when it comes to, I won't let myself have one bite of things that I love because I know that I will get out of control. And so I understand that whole alcoholism addicted sort of thing. If I have one bite of brownies or one bite of whatever, then I'm out of control and I can't stop. I can't stop eating it. So I understand that completely.
Yeah, it's one of my problems is I have a bite and then it's that just one more kind of thing or just a little bit more that gets to me. So I just don't quit with a little bit more.
Yeah. That's why I just have to say no, absolutely not. Can't have a bite.
Well, and I'm a closet eater, and I have been for years and years and years. And so I know that, and I have alcoholism that runs in my family. I had an uncle that died at age 48 from alcoholism. And so I know that those tendencies run in my family. And for years and years and years, I would take things and hide them and eat them in hiding because, you know, I didn't want anyone to see me eat it, which is a classic sign of a foodaholic. Yeah. Very much so. Man, I could put a bag of M&Ms, a 2-pound bag of M&Ms away in one night, no problem, and no one would even know I had it. You know, hide it. So you know, I think that a lot of the 12 Steps program is very relevant, not only to us too.
Wow, that is wonderful. You guys are so great. This is serious business. I mean, it's a lot more than just, you know, having a lot of willpower, isn't it? You have to get inside of yourself and inside of your heart and really decide what you want. Anyway,
Yeah.
anybody else, anything else anybody wants to say? I know they're going to cut us off here pretty quick. You see the little sign that shows up. Anyway, you guys are so great. Until next week, I'll see you guys all on Meltdown. Keep up the good work. Man, look at all those points we got. This is a great team.
Goodbye, new best friends.
Yes, that's right. Best friends. Okay, let's do a fist bump. Everybody, come on. Oh, there it is. Yay, we did it. All right.
team.
See you next time, you guys. You're awesome.
Thanks.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, bye.